Hey everybody, this is Justine. I am going to be sharing my birthing video with all of you. It has real footage of an all-natural, unmedicated birth, so there is some graphic images. So if you're not into that, then just click on the next video. I guess I'll start with, I went in to see my doctor on Monday, January 6th. To have my membrane stripped for the second time. When I went in, the doctor said I was dilated to about a 3.5, 4. But with this pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes for the third time. And so they were concerned about the size that the baby might be. So they went ahead and scheduled me for an induction. That was Monday. I was going in for my induction that evening, which would be Tuesday morning at 5 a.m. So I left the doctor's office, came home, and that was about 1 p.m. When I got home, I just relaxed, kept doing my normal thing with my other 3 kids, and about 4 p.m. on Monday night, my contractions started. So I wasn't really sure if it was contractions, if labor was really starting, so I did go ahead and track them on a contraction timer here at the house, and they were just every 5 minutes, every 9 minutes, but they never stopped from the time 4 p.m. till the time I went into the hospital at 5 a.m. I had contractions the entire time, which was good. That meant something was happening. Labor was somewhat progressing. And so I was just hoping I was relaxed enough and not thinking about it too much that I had dilated somewhat. The good thing was with this labor, I was already, like I said, about 4 centimeters dilated before I even got to the hospital. With my other pregnancies, I was 1 centimeter or not even dilated at all whenever I went. So when we got to the hospital about 5 a.m., the nurse checked, hooked me up, and she said I was about 4.5 to 5 centimeters dilated. And that's where I'll start everything. All right, so after my nurse let me labor for about 40 minutes on my own, at 5:40, she went ahead and started the Pitocin. At that point, I went ahead and texted my doula and let her know that Pitocin had been started and my contractions were coming regularly every 6 minutes. So that was at 5:40. She showed up at the hospital at 6 a.m. and labor had naturally picked up because of the Pitocin. Contractions were a little more intense. It was really uncomfortable to sit down or lay down. At this point, I knew from both research I had done and just the pain of the contractions that I was not delivering this baby on my back. It was something in my mind I really knew that I did not want to do. I did not want to be laying down to deliver this baby. So Contractions picked up, and the most comfortable position for me to labor in was standing up, resting on my husband's shoulders, like in the slow dance position, which you'll see some pictures of that here in a little bit. He was just a great support, just being there and holding me, just giving me that comfort and knowing kind of just that I was safe. So labor progressed, and then at 8:14, my doctor came in and checked me, and she said, "You dilated to 6 centimeters," which was great. And she said, "I'm going to go ahead and break your water." She broke my water, and after that is really when it picked up. That was at 8:14. And then I had a few contractions, and I said, "Okay, I need to use the restroom." I got up, used the restroom. As soon as I was done using the restroom, I stood up because a real intense contraction came on, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, the baby's down." Like, she's down there. I could just, as soon as I stood up off the toilet, I could feel that the baby was just like, almost, it felt like it was about to fall out. So the nurse was like, "Okay, well, I need to get you to the bed. I need to check you and see if we need to call the doctor back." So I walked over to the bed and had about 2 or 3 contractions from just the restroom to the bed, which is not very far at all. I tried to lay down for her to check me. Another contraction came. I jumped up real quick and said, "Oh, you're going to have to wait." So then I laid down again, and she able to check me, and she said, "Yep, you're 10 centimeters. You're ready to go. Let me call your doctor." So I pushed the button. They said, "Hey, is doctor still at the hospital?" Which luckily she was. She hadn't gone very far. And immediately after she checked me, I got back up for another contraction. And then after that contraction, I crawled into bed. And when I did, I was on my hands and knees. I didn't really think about it. You'll see in the video, I was facing like away from the door, and my head was facing the head of the bed. And it was just the most comfortable position. I didn't even think about it. I just did it, which is something my doula told me. She said, when it comes time to push and everything, your body's going to get in its natural, most comfortable position. So coming up, you'll see a few pictures of me during the contractions, and then you'll see the real raw footage of everything. There'll be some yelling, some ugly words, and just real raw footage of the labor and delivery part. It was exciting. It was excruciating. It was awful, but beautiful at the same time. And it didn't last very long. But that ring of fire that they talk about, it's no joke. All you have to do is breathe easy. Try blowing. Try blowing.
There you go. Not too fast. There you go.
Blow, long blows.
She's coming out.
No, she's not. I can see it. Not yet.
That's it.
Again, come on.
Got it. You got it, girl. You got it. Push your baby out. Come on, baby. Push your baby out.
There you go. There you go.
No.
Come on, you gotta keep going.
Yep,
Come
the
on.
head is there.
Okay.
Don't fight. She's halfway there.
Come on, she's almost out.
She's
You
almost
gotta
out.
do
You
the rest
gotta
of
do
the
the
way
rest out, or you gotta turn over so I can get her out.
Can't take pictures of this.
Oh, she told me I could,
did
not
she?
vaginal.
Clear down, go.
Just not vagina.
Okay, all right.
Ready, go.
Come on.
Good job. Good job. Keep going. Keep going.
Push down.
We're almost there. Christine. Come on.
Keep going. Keep going. She's almost up.
Oh, you're a big girl.
Thank you. But you're floppy.
Don't go back.
Don't go back.
We got it, Mom.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead.
Okay, so that was really intense, and I love watching it. I don't at the same time. It was some of the sounds I made were crazy, but From the time my doctor broke my water 8:14, my daughter was born at 8:46. So that was about 30 minutes total of the real intense contractions. And the main pain was that last, like, I don't know, that last little bit of footage that you saw when, I mean, I could feel her head and I just wanted her out, as you heard in the video. But it doesn't last long. So that's the exciting part, and the promising part is, and what I kept telling myself in my head, even though I was saying, get her out, like I'm done, was that my baby's about to be here in my arms. And it's the most beautiful and glorious thing you'll ever experience. So while the pain is a lot and really fast, it's also really, really short, ladies. Like, you can do it. You can push that baby out naturally. You don't need the epidural. If you get an epidural, that's fine too. My first 3 labors, I had an epidural, and I found it super ironic. And my first 3 babies were 8-pound babies. And then this last one, that I was like, okay, this is my last baby. I really want to try and do it unmedicated. She was 10 pounds, ladies. That was a 10-pound baby I pushed out without an epidural, without any pain medicine, and I did not tear. And I will tell you, ladies, that from all the reading and research I did, I truly believe the reason I did not tear with her is the position I was in. So I encourage you, if you can, to not lay on your back. Even if you have an epidural, you can deliver on hands and knees with support, with people supporting your legs. You can deliver on your side. I just really encourage you to do the research and find what is most comfortable for you. I will say the head nurse, who was my delivery labor nurse, she, when I first crawled in the bed like that, she stopped me and said, "Oh, no, you can't deliver like that." And I said, I'm delivering like this. I cannot deliver on my back. I've talked to my doctor and I know she's delivered from this position before. And she said, okay. And so I crawled in the bed, and if I had not been confident in that and I had not voiced that to the nurse, then they would have put me on my back, and I don't believe I would have been able to do it. I think I would have ended up in a C-section, just out of fear, out of just, I don't know. I just felt very confident in that position, even through the yelling and the pain. That was the most comfortable for me. And I believe being vocal and telling my nurse, no, I'm going to deliver in this position. She said, okay. Even though she was somewhat hesitant, she later thanked me and said, like, thank you. That was beautiful. That in 35 years, ladies, this nurse has been in labor and delivery for 35 years and had never seen someone deliver in that position, which is crazy to me and kind of makes me sad for all of the women out here who just are delivering on their back from either lack of knowledge or just fear, like being told this is how you have to deliver. But do your research and find what you think is going to work best for you. I really thought I was going to want to labor in a tub in water, but I didn't. I thought I was going to want to do like squats and be dancing and stuff, but honestly, for me, the most comfortable position was just leaning on my husband and just using him for that support. And in the back of my mind, I knew that it was just that comfort of having someone make me feel safe. His touch, even whenever you see me delivering there, he has his hand on my lower back, and so did the nurse. And I don't really remember her hand being there, but I can remember and could feel my husband's hand and like the warmth that came from it. It was just like a safety support that really helped me get that last push and get that baby out. So I just encourage you to do research, to watch labor and delivery videos, to read books, read articles, and just be as informed as you can. One book I really enjoyed was Ina May Gaskin's book. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it. I'll link it in the thing below. Sorry, I hope that if you stayed this long, thank you for watching my entire video. This is my first ever vlog or whatever. Like, I don't do this on a regular basis. I'm not a blogger. I'm not a mommy blogger, anything like that. I just wanted to share my labor and delivery video and footages with y'all, so that there was just more positive experiences out there. It's something I enjoyed watching towards the end of my pregnancy, and I hope you enjoy this as well. And good luck in your labor and delivery.